Uh, so an update on the LED streetlight project. We have paid the 50% of the cost of the project. And as I was just telling Phil, the couple of people from the firm that's doing the installation came by the DPW a couple of weeks ago to see where they could stage their materials and trash. So I got a chance to meet them, and like I was telling you, they just seemed pretty sharp. So I was very happy about that.
And you have a good spot for the trash and everything?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of room, and
You'd be surprised that becomes a huge deal. We're doing this, and it's not our job to put it in that to bring it over there to put it in. So
yeah,
just set the expectations. But it sounds we have plenty of space here. It's not downtown Boston.
yep, and they were really, it's like, whatever your hours out, we'll try to work around those. Don't want to get in the way, and so on and so forth. So it's all good.
And how's it working with the police duty? Is that
they bring their own.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's in the cost? Really? Wow, I'm surprised. I thought that was part of our own thing.
I don't think so. I mean, he talked about the details they would have. So he didn't ask me for, where are the details.
I mean, maybe they contact the town and we just haven't heard about it.
Yeah.
They're not going to get state police or someone from Mendon to do it.
Right? No. And then, he told me it takes about 6 minutes a poll, which strikes me as being really fast. But
that is really fast. I would say 30 minutes.
Oh no,
maybe 6 minutes if it's all perfect, but they run into snafus that end up taking 2 hours to fix or something.
Yeah, no, I understand that. And then he's got to work around the work that's being done on 140, and we're getting ready to start the project of replacing the pavement on Fisk Ave. So we'll have to work about that. There's 6 poles along Fisk Ave but they seem very flexible. We'll just let us know when you're going to be there, and we'll work around it.
Okay, cool.
I'm not actually sure we own the fixtures yet, though. The town manager has been managing the all of that, so I'm not.
I don't remember if it was in the price, if we were buying it directly from the distributor.
No, the National Grid fixtures that we're taking off.
Oh yeah, whatever. Just do it, and then they'll forget about it, and we won't have to pay them, and then they'll come back in 30 years and tell us.
Oh no, we've already paid them.
Okay.
It's $4,000. Just under. And then I had to take training on NGENS. Are you familiar with NGENS? Basically, it's a tool used to manage work that needs to be done on poles.
Oh, okay.
So as the owner of the fixtures now, the streetlights, whenever a pole needs to be moved, we'd be responsible for moving it.
Even though the electricity is attached to it?
Yeah, so occasionally they'll move a pole and everything needs to be taken off, and it gets taken off, and apparently, just. So you move everything over to the new pole, and then I think you just take the old pole, or you leave it attached to the new pole.
Yeah, okay.
The double pole thing. So in any case, but it's really straightforward. So, but it was important to National Grid that somebody know about it and know how to monitor it and so on. So, and the firm offered, and they said, we can do the maintenance for you if you're interested. So.
I mean, there shouldn't really be much, but whatever.
No, but occasionally we'll need to move.
Yeah, it doesn't. I would sign up for that or whatever we have to do to just call them when we need.
Yeah, on an as needed basis. Yeah. But it's nice to know that there's somebody out there I know to call.
Yeah.
So we need to work that out, and actually the town manager, because Grafton replaced all of theirs and has some arrangement with Shrewsbury. So in any case, at some point we need to resolve exactly how we're going to maintain the lights. But like you said, it's negligible, especially at the beginning. So they're still shooting for finishing by the end of June.
I mean, we just need some weather that's warmer and not so windy, I think.
Yep.
And wet. But that's what happens with these projects in the spring, is it's just weather is tough. Like obviously they're not going to start next week. It's supposed to rain
tonight.
all week.
So that's the status of that. CMRPC finished our quarterly report for us, so we've met our obligations to the Green Communities Division in terms of reporting. So the woman we were working with is leaving tomorrow, but they've already hired a replacement. So the next item on the agenda was the Black Earth composting and the postcard.
Yep. So I reached out to the community to find someone to help with that. But it was right after town meeting, or maybe it was before town meeting. And a woman offered, and I sent her the file, and then she ghosted me. So I'm not really sure why, but the stuff must have been going on in her life. So then I reached out to BVT. I have submitted a community project with them. You do it on their website, and I haven't heard anything, but I did talk to Tom Mayo on the phone. So he said that they should be able to work with our budget. And I've sent them all the files and everything. So at this point, it's just sort of a waiting game for them to get back to us, let us know, what the final cost is. I had asked for it by May 1st. I'm not sure that's going to happen because I've heard nothing. But I can also follow up by phone. I found I can't get him by email. You have to call into the shop, which feels very disruptive to me, to an educational environment. But that's how I talked to him last time. And he was very helpful on the phone and sort of walked me through how to submit the proposal online. And they mainly do municipal work for all the towns they represent at BVT. So it's in the works. I'll absolutely host a massive party at my house when this project gets done. It feels like it's been on the docket forever.
Well, I was on Fay Mountain Road in Grafton several weeks ago, and I was passed by a Black Earth composting pickup truck, or a truck, not a pickup.
Yes.
They were doing the pickup, but it wasn't a pickup truck.
Right.
And then I was walking in Westboro, and somebody had a yard sign that said, "I'm a Black Earth composting man."
Yeah, I know. Well, the finance committee chair would be horrified by that. How dare we partner with a business that's doing good for the world? But yeah, so I mean, there is progress. It's just slow going. So when I follow up with Tom, I think the question's going to be, do we think we can get this done before the summer? Because that would be nice, is to get it out before the summer months, and see how pre-registration works over the summer. I did reach out to Black Earth and ask them if they would resend because they sent an email to all the people who pre-registered asking them to actually register. And so few people responded. And I thought that was really odd. And I was like, I bet people weren't checking their email. Remember, it was the timing. And I asked Rosie to resend it, and she wouldn't do it. She said, I don't think we should clutter people's inboxes. And I'm like, I don't care about that, actually. I think if we tell them you're going to send it on a certain day, if we post it through, social media or whatnot, and have people share it, by word of mouth, you know, they'll check their email and they'll see it come through. But they have significantly lowered the threshold to get a route started. Um, and we didn't even meet that threshold. So, and I just don't believe it, given the interest and some of the responses online. I can't believe that there's that few people that are actually interested in doing this. But I don't know. We'll see. So that's where it's at.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope.
But Phil was just telling me that Mass Save is melting down.
Oh, really?
No, there's a lot of scrutiny on it right now. I don't want to say that it's melting down, but
Okay.
there's stressors that make working there difficult right now.
Okay.
But I will say the program's all based around municipalities and residential, low income, environmental justice communities, equity. Whereas before we were giving our money to like more of the big customers, now we want to be working more with like renters and, you know, this businesses on 140. They're just harder to get in touch with, they don't have capital budgets typically. It's, you know, so that's where it's kind of shifting. So I don't know if there's something we can do with the town or partner with one of those ESCOs that does the house audits and let them put out a blaster or something in the newspaper or do like a webinar with them. There's a couple companies. I mean, they're all vetted by us. All the pricing's predetermined. If they screw up on work, there's checks and balances to have them come back and fix it. They had to do that at my house because they did the work, and then I went and looked at it and said, I know what I'm doing, and then they had to come back, which they don't like doing. So that could be something. And I know that there was the town energy manager grant. I know we're probably not getting anything like that, but you know, if as citizen of the town, if there's ever any interest of me going to the businesses and talking about it for them, for representing the green communities and trying to put them in touch with the right people, I'm more than willing to do that. And obviously, there's a big push for middle school, so I don't know if there's any schools in town that we need to have any work done or looked at.
Yes, and in fact, I mean, I haven't read the warrant in detail, but the school committee is about to present about $33 million worth of improvements to the school buildings in the district at town meeting.
Okay.
So there might be something in that mix. I know one of them is a roof. I know some are fields, but I don't know if there's anything, you know, that would meet that criteria, but it might be worth.
With the roof, it's possible that we might pay extra for a thicker membrane or something for a better R value. Usually what happens with schools is they come to us when they've already engaged with a vendor on like building an HVAC system or something. And then we look at it and we're like, why? And then we can't incentivize it because it's not being done right. So it's, if there's anything that's like mechanical or something, I'd always get the utility involved as early as possible in the
I know
process.
that the HVAC system is being like, I think they're replacing it. I mean, the number of repairs and improvements are like, it's wild. I'm like, wow, all three, like there's three different like proposals or warrant articles for the schools, and they total about 33 million, which is, I'm like, well, it's some really poor planning.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's lights on the fields. There might be something for that.
Yeah.
If you want me to come to a meeting or forward it to me or whatever, I can look at
Yeah,
it.
I'm not on school committee. I've sort of had to stop myself from trying to martyr myself. I'm like, we voted these people in, like, let them do the work. But Jim Forkey, I do know, and yeah, I know he's really keen on savings wherever they can get them in the budget, and he's on school committee, so I'll reach out to him. Is it okay if I share your like email?
Yeah. CC
Phil?
me on an email.
Okay.
And then I can
Yeah.
just find the right contact, because I think our account manager that we were dealing with for the lighting, that wasn't the energy account manager, was it? I don't think it was. That's like your account manager that deals with like when you have a problem or you want to deal with your streetlights. There's also assigned energy managers,
Mm,
who are probably better to. I think it's a guy Sean in this area, but I can find out who it is easily enough.
okay.
Yeah, we were dealing with Robert and Jean Timlin. I remember her
Yeah,
name.
yeah, Jean. And I don't recognize her name. So outside of this, and like usually in this field, I recognize everyone's name because we're always crossing paths on projects and stuff. So,
Yep.
but maybe. Yeah. So let me know.
Okay, yeah, I will, I'll send him, if I think I have his email. I'll send him an email and copy you on it and just suggest that he reach out to you around ways that like ideas for saving with any of the school improvement projects that
Yeah.
are
So
coming up on town meeting warrant. Yep.
she's customer and community manager at National Grid. I just looked her up. I think that's more like just like, if you're buying redoing who you're buying power from or something, you'd work with her. Cool. Yeah, but just connect us and I'll take it from there.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you.
Excellent. And then we have this, was December our last meeting?
I believe so.
Okay, we have December minutes to approve, so I
Yes,
move.
and I've read them, and I'm going to move that we approve them as written.
Excellent.
A second.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
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 All right. Excellent. Thank you. Okay. And that was 70. All right. So our next meeting. I mean, is this still a good time for folks?
It is for me.
It is. Okay.
May 15?
Okay. Is that what it is?
No, May 8. That would be the second Thursday.
Okay. May 8th. Thursday. Actually, wait 1 second. 1 second. I feel like I have. 1 second.
Yep.
I have a class and I remember thinking, oh, that's going to conflict with Green Community. Yeah, I have a class that night from 6:30 to 8:30. But it could, and I have it the prior Thursday and then the following Thursday is terrible for me as well. So it's that time of year.
Tuesday? What are people doing on Tuesdays?
Tuesday the 6th would work for me.
I can make that work.
I can make that work too.
All right, let's do it on Tuesday the 6th then.
Okay, Tuesday, May 6th. And when I send the minutes, I'll be sure to mention that so maybe Robert sees it. Okay. I motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
All right, good night.